I'm John Starr, chair of the panel of researchers and educators who developed the recommendations for the What Works Clearinghouse practice guide on teaching strategies for improving algebra knowledge in middle and high school students. The recommendations are based on a synthesis of rigorous research evidence and professional knowledge. During the first part of this video, I'll briefly describe the guide's 3 recommendations for teaching algebra, provide an example, and talk about how implementing each recommendation can improve instruction. The first recommendation calls for using solved problems to involve students in analyzing algebraic reasoning and strategies. Algebraic reasoning can be challenging for students because it can require processing a large amount of abstract information. Having students study solved problems, like this one, helps minimize the burden of abstract reasoning by allowing students to see the problem and many solution steps all at once without having to execute each step. This example shows the steps of abstract algebraic reasoning required to solve the equation. Analyzing and discussing solved problems can help students efficiently develop a deeper understanding of the logical processes used to solve algebra problems efficiently. The second recommendation encourages teaching students to use the structure of algebraic representations, where structure relates to the underlying mathematical features and relationships. Teaching students to notice structure helps them make connections among problems, solution strategies, and representations that may appear different but are actually mathematically similar. These connections enable students to focus on the mathematical similarities of problems presented in symbolic, numeric, verbal, or graphical forms. For example, consider the quadratic polynomial equation x squared plus 4x minus 21 equals 0. The left side of the screen displays a factored expression, and the right side shows a graphical display. Understanding the structural similarities between these different representations of the same problem can improve understanding of mathematical features and relationships. The final recommendation calls for teaching students how to intentionally choose from alternative strategies when solving problems. By knowing multiple strategies and learning to recognize which strategies are more appropriate for particular tasks, students can develop a deeper and more robust knowledge of algebraic concepts and procedures, increasing their problem-solving success on both familiar and unfamiliar problems. For example, the equation on the screen is solved in 2 different ways. By comparing these examples, students can recognize that the conventional solution on the left side, using the distributive property as the first step, is not as efficient as the right side strategy that efficiently subtracts out an entire 3 quantity x minus 2 term from both sides. Each practice guide recommendation includes specific action steps, several examples that illustrate each action step, and the panel's thoughts on how to overcome common challenges. The panel identified and developed these recommendations based on high-quality studies that meet What Works Clearinghouse standards.